to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below as usual. Please make sure to like the video as well as watch it. Watch it all the way through if you could. It'll really help the algorithm of my channel. Like I said, and if you give this video a like, it'll help other Geminis find this video. So let's get into it for Geminis. You have the Justice, the Queen of Ghosts, the Eight of Pumpkins, the Six of Pumpkins, the Ten of Bats, Seven of Pumpkins, Four of Pumpkins, Five of Bats, the Strength, the Moon, Two of Ghosts, Eight of Imps, Page of Bats, Six of Bats, and last but not least, we have the Magician. So, very interesting. So, what I'm seeing here is that this is pretty much a situation for you Geminis where Justice, if there's anyone that was a jerk to you from the past, giving you a hard time, they're messed up right now. You're off to the races with other people, enjoying yourself, and they're messed up right now. The Queen of Ghosts, Eight of Pumpkins. The Queen of Ghosts represents that person who is messed up. They thought that they were so much better than you, and they're finding out that they're not. Okay, they're not really meeting the people who are on their who meets their list of preferences and stuff like this. Because of all these BS standards. So the Eight of Pumpkins is that you out here and you're not necessarily complaining about, the people whom you've met too bad. You seem to be still moving forward with meeting a lot of people. So the Six of Pumpkins is, yes, indeed, you are meeting a lot of people. But the Ten of Bats is that a lot of those people, though, are kind of sleeping on a lot of you Geminis as to what it is that some of you Geminis may be bringing to the table. So the Seven of Pumpkins and the Four of Pumpkins, the Seven of Pumpkins and the Four of Pumpkins is now about how, Seven of Pumpkins, Four of Pumpkins, very interesting. It's now about how it is that you do have people who will be willing to date you, and the Four of Pumpkins and the Five of Bats is that you need to be careful to my dear Geminis, that they may be playing a game or they may be playing hard to get. It's the same thing as playing a game. Again, there's a lot of players out here, you know what I mean? And that's one of the worst things that anyone can be, because people still haven't figured out yet that nobody is a player. Again, you need to go ahead and watch that film Revolver with Jason Statham and Andre 3000. The whole premise of the film is in essence that people who play the game ends up playing them, because you play the game so much, right? Being a player, right? We have all these video game terms: player, game, leveling up, all of these things are references as if you're playing in a video game, right? People who have this type of mentality, which is a lot of people, don't seem to understand that you handicap yourself in that way, because no one is a player. No one is above getting played, and that's the trick. The trick is you're never going to be a player, because no one is. And refusing to see that it just proves just how caught up in the actual game the person is. So you're going to have these people who act as if they're so much better than you, Geminis. But again, the most important planet in the entire astrology chart is Mercury. So, and Mercury rules what? Gemini and Virgo. So the Strength card is now about how you're able to see through a lot of these people's BS who it almost seems as if like you're getting yourselves out of one situation right from the past and moving on to another situation where you're meeting person to person, right, who's on essentially the same steeds, the same thing. They're playing the same game. And the Strength card is now you have the ability to actually see it. And it looks very tacky to you. So the Moon is about now how it is that a lot of you are reflecting on whether or not you should play the game and kind of beat the person at their own game and stuff like this by showing them just how pathetic and how idiotic it is, or right. And the Two of Cups, excuse me, the Two of Ghosts represents how it is. Oh, sorry, I didn't fully explain the Moon in this particular situation. How it is that you should either do that or you should be in an honest relationship with this person and give them the benefit of the doubt, right? But although this person still could be playing a game with you, and if they're playing a game, you just pick up your bags and leave, right? You haven't really missed anything. So the Two of Ghosts now represents how, so this person thinks that there's so much. This person thinks that they got you wrapped around their finger, right? The Eight of Imps is that with the words that they use and, the way that they touch you and the words that they use. This is what it is that these two cards are saying. They think that they've got you wrapped around their finger, right? And the Page of Bats is about how, nope, they got played. Because ultimately they played themselves. They wasn't fast enough. They didn't seize the opportunity while they did. They wasn't good enough to actually trick a lot of you Geminis. So the Six of Bats is about how it is that they lost you because their game was slipping because you knew that they were running a game and they wouldn't be real. So the Magician now is about how the Magician is Mercury. You know what I'm saying? But the Magician represents how people have to wake up pretty early to actually fool you. But the Magician is also about a representation of how, like, you're kind of in your own element. And, like, people aren't going to just show up and manipulate you. That's not going to be very easy, especially if the Geminis are paying attention. See, the Geminis end up doing a lot of dumb stuff because the Gemini's mind, who is untrained, just like the Sagittarius mind, who's untrained, Aries mind, who's untrained, it moves very quickly. So there's a lot of error and there's a lot of errors and room for mistakes. You understand what I'm saying? And the Gemini mind, when it's paying attention and it's slowing down a little bit to actually be able to do things, not just quickly, but thoroughly, is a very dangerous thing. Just like Virgo's mind is a very dangerous thing, both ruled by Mercury. So it's a situation for the Geminis where y'all end up getting tricked into a lot of crazy situations or finding yourselves into a lot of crazy situations because you're not paying attention to the character of the person. Like how do some people end up being with someone who ignores them, plays like for instance, right? Like, do you like people like I don't know if this is with, and I'm gonna get to it, but I don't know if other people find this stuff annoying. You could go ahead and hit me up in the comment section about this. But one thing that I really don't like is when I'm texting somebody or I hit them up through social media on the right, not necessarily call them, but it's this long pause. It's like, what did you do? Walk away from the phone? What did you do? You know, the mere fact that you can't even pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I'll holler at you later, shows a lack of etiquette on your side. It shows a lack of etiquette on your side, honestly, because if you didn't want to speak to the person or playing these games and doing all this other type of stuff, it looks goofy because it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for you to, I know this isn't a phone, but I'm just saying, I'm using my phone to record, but it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for you to pick up your phone and just text this person, hey, doing something right now, right? Hit you up when I actually get a chance, instead of just freezing the person out. But all these types of games is what makes it so goofy. How does somebody hang out with someone like that and is okay with that? If that's what it is that you like, then you may have a mental illness. You understand what I'm saying? I'm speaking in general. Because there's no way that you can like someone who's that much of a jerk off. You know what I mean? So let's clarify the magician. Let's clarify the magician. So you have the Ten of Swords, Three of Cups, and the Judgment. So to clarify the magician. So the Ten of Swords is about how, yes, you got betrayed. This is nothing new. This is what happens to a lot of the Geminis and Virgos. It is what it is, right? It even has the word traitor on it, where these people betrayed you. Yes, you did. But the Three of Cups is that they really did you a good because they're whack as hell. And they're whack. And the thing is that the Judgment represents how it is that you need to learn how to become a little bit better with tolerating less and paying attention more, so that you're able to make faster conclusions and faster judgments. Like, you know what I'm saying? How many people do you know? Serious business, and I would like to hear this, and I would like to see this in the comment section. How many people do you know who does that silly game that I told you about with the cell phone, and these people are upstanding people? You meet them in real life. You can engage them in a real conversation. They actually have something going for themselves, meaningful. How many people do you know like that, who play that telephone game and actually have a substantial relationship where they have a social life and you can relate to them? If the answer is zero, I prove my point. So let's clarify the Two of Cups. This person actually thought they had you. The Ace of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the King of Swords. So the Ace of Swords, Four of Cups, and the King of Swords, to clarify the Two of Ghosts, is about how it is a lot of you Geminis as well. This person thought that if they can just use, like I said, if they could just use some of their sweet little words to you, right? Say something to you, stuff like this, that would work. And if they could just, potentially feed you, run you through the drive-through, it'll be easy for you to essentially give it up, or they'll impress you. But the thing is that the King of Swords represents what they're not telling you, is that they don't necessarily want to be around you, unfortunately, for a long period of time. Let's clarify the Eight of Imps. They want, physical intimacy. But to clarify the Eight of Imps, we have the Hierophant, the Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. So the best thing that a lot of you Geminis can do is pay attention, right? And ask them a lot of questions about themselves. And you're going to find out that if they were really serious about getting to know you, they wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be so trying to pacify you with using words and getting somewhat upset, like what's up with the third degree and what's up with all these questions and stuff like this. What's up with all these questions is I'm trying to get to know you. Why are you tripping about that? So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.